Hi, my name is Matthew Barker. And I'm a prof in the Department of Philosophy at Concordia University, and I specialize in philosophy of science. And I've got some book recommendations for you. These are related to the topics of a panel discussion in which I recently participated, where we talked about the roles that human values play in science and in conservation biology in particular, is what we were focusing on. So the first book that I have to recommend is by science journalist Emma Maris. It's called Rambunctious Garden. And the writing is snappy, the ideas are provocative, and it travels around the world from designer throwback ecosystems in the Netherlands to novel ecosystems in Hawaii. It shows us how we might value nature differently than we usually do. And it also shows why this is especially important now on a planet where humans have influenced basically every inch of the planet. So that's interesting and focused on nature and conservation in particular. The other two books focus on values in science more generally, not just in conservation biology. The first is by Heather Douglas, and it's called Science, Policy, and the Value-Free Ideal. And in this book, the author examines an old view on which science is supposed to be this thing that we keep values out of. So this old view is called the value-free ideal. The book shows the deep problems with that view, and then argues for why we should replace it with a newer view on which some values sometimes play an essential role in science and actually strengthen it and make it more effective. And then the book investigates the implications of this for the relationships between science and policy. And then the last book is by Philip Kitcher, a philosopher, as with Heather Douglas. It's called Science, Truth, and Democracy. Like the previous book, it also argues that some values at sometimes have an important role to play in sciences, but then it looks at the results of this for organizing and operating and funding science within societies that are largely democratic. So what should science look like in a democratic society? That's it for this week's recommendations. I hope that they prove interesting and maybe provocative, challenge some of our old ideas. Happy reading.